Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm feeling guided this morning to focus on mental and emotional well-being and how DIY bodywork can really help with that. I'm an empath, and some of you know that because you've heard me talk about it in other videos, but empathically today I could really feel kind of a collective energy in terms of the mental and emotional well-being is that people are really wanting to focus on that right now. So there's a lot that's going on in the world, a lot going on in people's lives, but there's a way to be able to take care of your mental and emotional well-being as this is occurring. So even if you're not empathic and feel different energies or just very sensitive to things that are going on, it's just best to be able to be in a practice of taking care of yourself and actually get out ahead of any emotional things that that could come up. So I want to be present during this time for those of you who certainly have an interest in this area and want to work on your emotional or your mental well-being during this time. And also this could benefit others who maybe are in your world, like even if you don't have something going on. Like right now I don't have anything mentally or emotionally going on, but I could feel it, and I just was present. Is this mind, or is this something collective? And that's what I got, that I needed to actually come forth and share about this, of how you can best support yourself during this time, or again sort of get out ahead. So I'm going to get started with doing some deep breathing. Deep breathing is one of my more extensive works that I highly encourage others to really participate in, being very connected to the new life force energy. So before we start in what I'm going to allow myself to be guided to share with you today, I would like for you to put your hand on top of your head, your right hand on top of your head, and then take your left hand and put it on your sternum, right in between the breastbone. And we're going to take about 3 deep breaths. Okay, so what this does is it helps to calm the nervous system. And so anytime you are feeling emotional or depressed, or maybe some anxiety, or just the onset of something that you don't know, that something's building, and just be present and do some deep breathing. And so I'm actually going to get a few sips of water. I encourage you to do the same, that if you are going to participate with this, make sure you have at least some hydration going for yourself. So whether it's some tea or some water. So I'm going to take a few sips for myself here. Hydration is so important. I talk about that a lot. So what I'm going to do is, I have a publication that really changed my life nearly 2 decades ago, and it's called Transforming Pain into Power, and it's by my wonderful colleague, Doris Helge, and she has a chapter in this publication that's called Let Life Touch You. And so, with the work that I do with the DIY bodywork, it is all about being able to touch yourself in the most divine and effective ways to bring forth well-being. And there are times when we really need to allow life to touch us. So I'm just going to read just a little bit before we get started. And she says, feeling our emotions every day keeps the doctor away. Many people do not realize that they are hurting their bodies when they do not fully experience life. So I just wanted to read just that little bit, because in a society that sort of conditions you to keep your emotions bottled up and don't be expressive, don't share that part, because sometimes it can come off as it's some type of weakness or so, and that's just not so. And so a lot of people don't actually really experience their emotions. Your emotions are very beneficial to you, and I've been using this publication for many years. Like I said, I think 2004 or 2005 was whenever I got that publication. It was like hitting the lottery of life, and I've used it in all of my coaching programs throughout the years. And then I have my own works in this area too, but I really felt guided to be able to share her work, and I'm actually going to share from my publication too. I Touch Myself and I Like It as it relates to the Life-flex-ology and Wealth-flex-ology areas. But being able to be present with your emotional well-being is very important. It's extremely valuable, and it is very vital to your health. And I'm actually, amongst being certified in a lot of different areas as it relates to holistic wellness and reflexology, acupuncture, and massage. I'm also certified in mental health awareness as well. And so with my knowledge of my own experience, and then also just academic experience in this area too, professional experience, what I know to be true is that our emotions are very much energetic, and they have different messages, and the body communicates in such a very unique way to give us insights about a variety of things. And so when we are present to experience our emotions instead of trying to get rid of them, sometimes you need to actually be present with them and to extract the wisdom that is contained, within that emotional state. So sometimes you can be feeling, mentally challenged, or you can be feeling very emotional, and sometimes it can be a slight imbalance of maybe an herb or something that you need to take. A lot of times, the Western medicine world or so, they want to prescribe a whole lot, but you can prescribe your own well-being by being present to know, is there an area of my life I need to touch? Do I need to work on myself reflexology wise? Do I need to work on my central nervous system? Do I need to do acupressure? Do I need to soothe myself with massage or so? So there's just a variety of ways. You don't have to pop pills. You don't have to also go and feel like you need to go seek out a counselor or get some type of therapy. I mean, those are helpful, but sometimes you need to just start with you and just be present with the gift of, your emotions. So as what Doris talked about, that feeling your emotions every day keeps the doctor away. And sometimes we don't want to feel those negative emotions or things that we feel just aren't to our highest well-being, but we'll be surprised that they carry a lot of value within there to help you be able to really improve, just your overall state of functionality. So, with me sharing that, I want to set a powerful intention for where we're going to go today, because I'm just always in the freestyle mode to allow myself to be divinely guided, and for you to take time now to be present, not with just your body, but to be present with your emotional well-being. So it doesn't matter whether you have something going on emotionally or not. It's just that you can now need to be present with the positive emotions, with the joy of life, right? So just allowing life to touch you and to be very intentional, about this. So that's what this sacred space right now is providing. So take 3 nice deep breaths, please. All right. So before we start doing some DIY body work, being intentional for emotional well-being, just going to take a few moments of silence just to be with the space and be with the intention of what needs to arise for you during this time to be a core area of focus. So as it relates to the mental well-being and the emotional well-being, you again could be wanting to experience more joy, and you want to tap into that emotion. for those of you who have been feeling maybe sad and depressed, we want to be present with that, and we want to extract a gift, because there is a gift within that. So don't be afraid to feel into that, even if it's uncomfortable. We will work through this, and there's ways that you'll be able to start soothing yourself today. Some of you may start feeling a little bit emotional. This could be kind of an emotional roller coaster in a sense, and what I mean by that is that there's the highs and the lows. You go up and there's the excitement, there's the joy, and then you could also start feeling just not necessarily heavy, but feeling a little bit out of sorts. But what's going to happen is that all will settle. We need to allow it to all come up together. So just be present with that. So we're going to take a few moments just to be silent here and be in this space. You can continue to deep breathe. Okay. So actually, before I start getting some oil or lotion to start lotioning up myself, and I'm going to invite you to do the same, I'm going to come over to my publication, I Touch Myself, and I Like It. It's a DIY self-massage, acupressure, and reflexology and well-flexology journal recorder, and many of you have seen this in several of the videos. So I'm coming over to a section within here that is about learning the basics of Wealth-flex-ology, and I want to relate this to the well-beingness from a holistic perspective of the wealth of life, and not just from a financial perspective, but how this relates to life and really the life-flexology aspect. So I'm going to read a little bit of what I have in this particular part of the publication. It says, there are certain areas of our lives that have a direct impact on our wealth factor that seem non-related to wealth creation. The modality reflexology provides a process of touching certain areas on the foot or hand to help stimulate wellness without actually touching on the direct areas of concern. Wealth-flexology is the same. You might be required to focus on a certain area of life, like your emotional well-being, loving yourself more, and or giving yourself more recreation. Taking actions such as these can help to stimulate even your cash flow success towards wealth creation in a non-linear way. Your body's intelligence can help you access the inner wisdom to apply this principle to generate